Hey, what is going on, everyone? In today's video, I want to go over the latest patch notes for Once Human version 1.5.1. Now, this update is expected to drop today, April 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern, and there should be around 3 hours of server downtime. When the maintenance ends, the mobile pre-download will be available. However, the mobile game will be launching tomorrow, April 23rd at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, if this video ends up helping you out, definitely drop a like down below to help support the channel. But without further ado, let's get into the patch notes. All right, so first up, they are introducing a new vehicle, the bicycle. So you will be able to build a bicycle in your vehicle garage, and you'll be able to do stunts with it as well. So they recently added some more flexibility into what you can do with vehicles. So it looks like now they're adding some more stunts in here specifically for the bicycle. So here are some pretty low quality GIFs, but you can get an idea of what you'll be able to do. Also, they are introducing multiplayer stunts, which is pretty interesting. So apparently you can stack up to 5 passengers on the back of your bicycle, and you can do some pretty unhinged group stunting. I could see this being pretty fun, just watching people around the map go by with a stack of 5 people on their bicycle. So this is just a fun thing that they're added. Obviously not a lot of function here in terms of usefulness, but still kind of a fun thing to add. They're also adding some new character standing actions. I believe, if I had to guess, this would be when your character is idle, you're able to now choose a specific standing action so that they can stand in a certain way while you're away from the computer. They've also made some construction block structure updates here. So the changes are here as follows. I'm not going to go over every single detail here, but you'll be able to see them on the screen. Essentially, they're renaming a few of the structures, and they're also adding a few other structures like right side wood stairs, left side wood stairs, right side reinforced stairs, left side. So they're kind of adding 2 different sides to a lot of these different structures. They're also introducing a new blueprint rating rule system specifically for novice servers. So essentially what they're doing is they're capping the amount of stars you can have on your blueprints based on the phase that you're in the novice server. So they give an example here where the memento is capped at 3 stars in phase 1, 4 stars in phase 2, and 5 stars in phase 3. I'm not really sure why they're putting this restriction in. They mentioned that if veteran players were to join novice servers, they could end up with a major stats advantage, but novice servers are also PvE only, so I would imagine this would be maybe more of a concern in PvP, but novice servers aren't PvP, so I don't really know why they're making this change. I don't think it's a big issue, but I also haven't played on novice servers since the start of the game, so if you are a novice player and you do find value in this update, let me know in the comments down below. They're also introducing a new item, the capybara, hopefully I said that right, capybara beans. So as we know, there are the capybaras all around the map that people love, but now they're actually going to be carrying mysterious jelly beans, each with a surprise inside. So whether it's tame or wild capybaras, they will occasionally drop these beans when they're idle, and it just says try them out and discover their various effects. So not really sure exactly what they do, but excited to check it out. They're also introducing a new team lobby feature. So this is going to allow you to browse all active sign-up squads on your server, making it easier than ever to find the right squad to join. So I'll have to see exactly what this looks like and see how useful it is, but I think making it easier for people to team up with other people to do activities is always a good thing. They're also introducing and reintroducing a bunch of events, so let's go ahead and go through those. So the first one here is called the Starfire Gala event, and this will officially launch once the update starts. It's going to go from April 24th to June 1st, and you'll be able to receive exclusive cosmetics, blueprints, Starcrom, deviations, legendary mods, and more. Also, they did note that this event will bring back select cosmetics from previous events in case you missed out on them. So the first part of it is you have some login gifts, so just by logging in, you'll be able to get some of these cosmetics here. They also mentioned some check-in rewards here, so if you log in across multiple days, you can earn some cosmetics. I'm not really sure how that's too different from the login rewards, but you can get legendary weapon blueprints, gear blueprints, and mods, which is pretty exciting. There also seems to be another new currency called Sparks. So it says, as you explore Nowcott, you'll collect Sparks, donate them in the Torchbearer event to ignite beacons of light and earn amazing deviations to travel alongside you through this wild world. So this seems to be another deviation event where you can maybe earn Sparks by perhaps completing specific tasks, and then you'll be able to contribute those to the Torchbearer event and get some more deviations. There also is a new event called Starfire Journey. This one seems to be about helping out new players to the game. So it says if you complete the Trailblazer certification, you can earn an exclusive honor badge, which I assume is what this is right here. It says you'll help guide new teammates across this stunning but dangerous land. So I'm not really sure exactly how this is going to work, what this looks like. It might require you to party up with people that are maybe below a certain level, I would guess, and like help them out with a certain amount of activities. That would just be my guess, but always happy to help out some new players, so this is a cool addition. They're also introducing the Mayfly's Exploration Guide event. So we previously had Mayfly's Fantastic Journey, and now we have Mayfly's Exploration Guide. So there's going to be a step-by-step guide to help beginners in the game, as well as some rewards based on tasks you can complete. And then there's also going to be, growth in all aspects of the game. So essentially, there'll probably be some crafting related things, some exploration related tasks, things like that to just get you used to the game. They had this kind of at the beginning of the game, right when it first launched. So makes sense that they're doing this with the mobile launch right around the corner. Also, they're doing another returnee event. So they're doing another returnee event. So if you have not logged in for over 14 days, you will qualify for this one, and you'll get a rare deviation, an asterism crate, and a cosmetic crate. They'll also be giving you a limited time return badge and return buff. That buff is called Mr. Wish's Favor, and it says while this buff is active, teaming up with friends to complete dungeons or public crisis events will earn you Mr. Wish's collection up to 25 per week. So this is a different type of currency that you can earn for this specific event, and you'll be able to open it up to get a generous amount of Star Wish tokens, which, by the way, the Star Wish shop was previously known as the Friendship Shop. They're now changing it to the Star Wish Shop. So you'll be able to use those Star Wish tokens there. And you'll also have the chance to get a Chephosaurus Rex sticker. And here are some of those stickers right here in case you're interested in what you can get. I think these look pretty cool. I don't really use stickers a lot in the game, but I'm sure there's people out there that do. Also, after you trigger the returnee event, you can complete emblem tasks to get return emblems, and if you collect enough of those, you can get some Starcrom rewards. And we have even more daily login rewards for returning Mayfly. So a lot of this stuff is really like the same. There's a bunch of different events here for returning players and for new players. There's going to be a lot of different events where you can just earn a bunch of different rewards. Also, there are some cross character rewards since the mobile release will have cross play and cross progression with the PC version. It says after the release of the mobile version, you can log in on both PC and mobile with the same account to claim a vehicle skin camo, the rare cosmetic Underwake Rise, Starcrom, and more. So I'm not sure if this is the camo that they're showing right here that you can claim, but I think this might be one I actually already have, but it looks like it'll be available again. So yeah, if you are looking to play on mobile, or even if you just want to log in to just claim these rewards, you'll be able to do so. And another event here, the Reborn Once Human event. So this is targeted really towards like new players, but it says they've prepared special rewards to help you get started, including the Lone Wolf Armor Blueprints and Asterism, so you can log in and claim those. This is only eligible for accounts that are registered after today, after April 22nd, so it's truly just going to be new players and probably just mainly targeted towards the mobile players, since there'll be probably a good influx of those. Also, for players that create their account after April 22nd, they're also going to be essentially helping you get more rewards and more weapons and armor easier. So now reaching certain target levels will grant you level marks, which then you can redeem for rewards such as legendary weapons and armor. So this just helps new players to kind of catch up a little bit. I'm not really crazy about them adding yet another type of currency. I think it still is kind of confusing. I almost would just prefer if they just gifted you legendary weapons and armor at certain levels rather than giving you another currency that you have to redeem again. But I still think this is pretty good for new players. The Gather Friends and Accept Invitation event is coming back as well. For those that don't know, you're able to share your friend codes with friends and actually share weapons with them, weapon blueprints that they can use temporarily. And they're also renaming the friendship shop to the Star Wish shop. So if you actually don't have any codes to use for this specific event, or you want to share your code, we do have a section in my Discord community, which is always linked down below. So feel free to join that and you can share your codes there. We've got a bunch of different codes. People always saying, what rewards that you can get based on, if you use their code or not. So feel free to join that if you would like to. And you can see here, they're mentioning that the friendship shop has now been renamed to the Star Wish shop. Also, we've got some more events here. We've got otherworldly visitors arrive. So this is one where you're able to log in during the event to earn a deviation from another world, a loyal dog companion who will join you on your epic journey. So this is kind of interesting. It's a deviation pet. So I don't think this is actually a deviation. It's just a pet that I guess can follow you around. So that's kind of new in the game. I don't think we have anything like that currently. And then also there is another otherworldly visitor, Alexi, has arrived, and you can find him in either Manibus or Evolution's Call, and you can complete his task to earn some rewards, including the eye patch that he's wearing. All right, so that is it for all the new events. There are a bunch of different events coming to the game. You can tell a lot of them are for the mobile release because they are reintroducing older events. But let me know, what do you think about all the events that they're introducing? Sometimes, personally, for me, I think it could be a little bit of overload with all the different events, especially since all of them basically have like different menu systems. It can be a little confusing. So I almost wish they would consolidate them a bit more. But I'm not going to complain about free rewards at the end of the day. They're also making changes to the Wish Machine prize pool. So we've got Jaws, we've got Brahmini. I don't know if I say that right. Shaman Vulture Top, Stormweaver Helmet, Stormweaver Pants, and Stormweaver Shoes. They're also introducing yet another Lightforged Loot Crate. Not going to spend a lot of time on this one, but Ethereal Tide here. You can see some of the screenshots for what you can earn. I haven't really been doing any of the loot crates. This does look pretty cool to me, but honestly, they're just too expensive for me to invest my time into and invest my money. They're also introducing a new battle pass called Ode to Dust. So you'll be able to get a epic fashion set here, an ACS 12 weapon skin, a capybara cradle skin, which could be kind of interesting looking, then elegant balcony furniture, and many more cosmetics. So here's a little teaser of that. They're also doing some limited time discounts on the shop. So 24 popular items will be up to 90% off. So feel free to go check out the shop and see, exactly what has been discounted. There's also some new items hitting the shop. Shining Newbie is here. It says purchase this to get 2,000% value back, including the epic character cosmetic Fluffy Commander and the epic cradle skin Roaring Pyro Dino, limited to one purchase per account. Not really sure exactly what this means in terms of if you purchase this, you get Christian back, 2,000% more Christian back. I'm not really sure exactly what this means, but it's somehow tied to this cosmetic, which seems to be like influenced by Easter. Also, the Meta Pass has been upgraded with 10% more Christian that you get back, trials of popular cosmetics, exclusive chat stickers, and many more privileges. So if you're interested in the Meta Pass, I haven't subscribed to it in quite a while, but they are making some upgrades here to hopefully entice some more people to check it out. Also, they did make a note here that after the update, the Meta Pass will take effect account-wide. So it'll work for all your characters on your same account, which is great news. They're also making some updates to the meta bounty system, which I'm not really a huge fan of, but they're introducing different milestone rewards. So if you reach certain milestones, you can get different items and different star ratings, and then you can display them at your base like they show here. They also tease some future shop arrivals here, so I'll just kind of scroll through and let you guys see some of these. So we got some player cosmetics, some additions to the steel frame glass set, which is a pretty popular one in the game. Then also they have some new small decoration packs that you can see here in this image. But yeah, there's just some future shop arrivals. I don't like to spend a lot of time on the new shop stuff since it's not really gameplay changing, but I know some people are interested in that. And they've also made a ton of different optimizations. We're not going to go over every single one because there's a lot of like small minute things that that they've changed, but I'll try to highlight some of the bigger things in my mind. So right here on a scenario level, they've added visional tags to help you better identify visional scenarios and track visional transition time. So I think this is good. Sometimes, it's hard to know kind of when the next visional wheel is coming. So I think making that a little bit clearer will be good. They've introduced some new free makeup options. So if you're interested in checking some of those out, you've got eyeshadow, lip color, and eye shine now. And they've also added a skin smoothing feature. I'm not sure if this is something you toggle on for your character or if it's just something that's baked in by default. They've also improved the shop layout and category navigation. I think this is good because it can be a little confusing, but obviously I don't know what this looks like, but I wish they would do more updates like this to just make things easier from a layout perspective. They've also added a character display feature. So now you can go up to another player and you can click on view character and you can see their appearance, which I think is great. I would do this in Destiny all the time, so I'm glad this game added that. They've also added some detailed temperature resistant descriptions to the stats screen, so we get some more stats based on our temperature resistance, which I think could be really useful, obviously, especially if you're playing the Way of Winter. Also, body temperature fluctuations will now be displayed on the main interface to help players anticipate hypothermia or heat stroke. I think that's great. They've also introduced 4 new causes of blacking out: hypothermia, heat stroke, extreme cold, and extreme heat, so watch out for that. Also, this is great. They've slowed the HP loss during severe hypothermia and sanity loss during severe heat stroke, so I think that's great because I did think it was a little too quick. And also, environmental temperature changes caused by weather or movement will now happen gradually, allowing metas more time to avoid danger zones. So I think all these changes are pretty good in terms of temperature. I think a lot of people thought it was a little too harsh and it just wasn't a lot of fun. So I think buying a little bit more time to figure out things is definitely a good change. They've also added a resource points feature to the item inheritance list to support more strategic planning when switching scenarios. And they've added a quick inherit feature where it says you can now inherit items using preset plans or customize their own. And it says, obviously, be sure to review that. So I think essentially what this is you're able to plan out what you actually want to bring over into the next scenario. And once you get to the next scenario, it will automatically be transferred. That would be my guess. So I think this is good. Obviously, it doesn't save a ton of time, but I think it's good to be able to plan that ahead of time anyway. They've also made some updates to the social settings. Most notably for me, I do see that they've added a nearby players list to the regional channel. So it's based on your character's coordinates in the wilderness. So I think that could be useful if you're looking for people that are, near you. You can kind of reach out to them and see if they can help out. Also, for Hive leaders that are inactive for 30 days, leadership will transfer to an eligible online member, and that online member needs to have been part of the Hive for at least 24 hours, and the new Hive leader must also have logged in within the last 30 days. They've also made some construction updates here, so the water pump and rainwater collection system will now allow you to select their outputs. Available outputs are dependent on the resources of the current region. So I think this is really useful, obviously, because we've all been there where we put a water pump on the ground and it starts pumping something we didn't want it to pump, and it's pumping half of that while it's pumping half of something else. So I think it's good to be able to finally control that. Also, refining facilities and water filters now feature conversion lists, making it easier to view and select desired outputs. So again, you're able to choose the outputs based on these different facilities. Also, refining facilities now support connection to water pumps. Water tanks can be connected to water pipes, and brewing barrels can be linked to water tanks, enabling full automation from production to conversion to storage. This is a huge change and definitely something that people have been wanting for a while. I know they talked about it in previous updates, so I'm glad to see this is finally coming. And yes, that does include impure acid, barreled crude oil, portable mixed fuel, and barreled premium fuel. Also, automatic irrigation facilities now only support purified water, so just keep that in mind. Also, they made some updates to the brewing barrel here. So now corn ale and malt ale have been moved to the advanced stove. So that's where you're going to be able to make corn ale and malt ale. Also, plant-based acid formulas have been moved to the large synthesis bench, and now brewing barrels will only support the formula of purified water and impure acid equals acid. So now brewing barrels are really just used to brew acid. I think this is kind of an odd change. I don't know why they would really do this, because in my mind, a brewing barrel should be able to brew multiple different types of things. But just to let you know, this is really just going to be for this purified water and impure acid setup. So just keep that in mind. And if you're looking to make corn ale and malt ale, especially if you're on some of those Lunar Oracle servers, you're going to want to go to the advanced stove to make those. Also, compost bins and meat dryers will now use a queue-based crafting system, allowing you to preview all craftable items. And they did rename the Stardust water pump and the ice breaking water pump. They've been renamed to the Stardust Refinery and Cold Crystal Ore Refinery. Also, facility output calculations while players are away from their territory have been improved for greater precision and fairness, so that is great. I didn't really notice any issues with it myself, but I'm sure other players did, so I'm glad that they're correcting that. They've also made some other optimizations here that solar vending machines with items in the harvester's market will now be reclaimed by the system after 120 hours of inactivity, so that's up from 72 hours. And finally, motorcycles are now allowed to enter the harvester's market. They've also made some updates to Eternal Land. Most notably for me is that mail is now shared between Eternal Land and the wilderness. I know there were some issues in the past where if you claim things in Eternal Land from your mail, it was only existing in Eternal Land, so hopefully that fixes this issue. And there's also been a bunch of bug fixes here as well. I'm not going to go over all of these because some of them are a bit smaller, but there you have it, folks. Those are the updates for update 1.5.1 for Once Human. Obviously, with the mobile release right around the corner, I'm sure there'll be some other hot fixes that come with that to make sure that's running smoothly. But let me know, what did you think about this update? What are you most excited for? What are maybe you disappointed about that you were hoping would be in this update? Leave a comment down below, and also feel free to join our Discord community. Like I mentioned earlier, we do have a bunch of codes in there, a bunch of resources, especially for new players. So if you're a new player to the game and you want to get some help, the Discord is a fantastic place to go. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you on NowCod. Take it easy, folks.